Alright, so this lesson is going to go over arrays and lists, which are they're what we call container elements in Python. So they contain other pieces of data. And the main difference between a list and an array is a list can contain multiple types of data. So you could have an integer and a string in the same list. In an array, it can only contain one type of data. So you could only have integers, you could only have strings and whatnot. So let's just make a list here. So I'll say list1 equals, so to define a list you put it in square brackets, and then you separate all of the what are called elements in the list by commas. So I'll say 9, 4, 11, 6, 8. So see, I have 5 elements in this list because I have 9, 4, 11, 5, and 8. And because this list is just made up of other pieces of data, it also has indexes. So remember from strings, we can index an object with these square brackets. So if I want to get the first element in the list, or yeah, if I want to get the first element, I'll just type list1 and then 0. Just wait for it to run, and it'll give me 9 here. If I want to get the second element, I'll type 1. And so on. And if you remember back from strings, when I briefly talked about index, it's just the position of something within something else. So the 0 with element is the first one. The first element is index 0. The second element is index 1, and so on. Now let's talk about some of the methods and functions we can use with lists. So the first one is the len function. This function, it'll just give you the length of the list. So it says 5, which is right because there's 5 things in this list. Another one we could use is dot append. So I'm just gonna go change this to list1 because you can print lists. And then I'll do dot append, which append's definition is just like to add onto. So I'll append 60. And then when I run this and I print it, you see it added 60 onto this list, which wasn't initially in my list. And I could also use dot remove, which you guess it removes an item from a list. So I can remove 4 from this list, and I can print it. So you see it 4 is gone now. And you can also sort lists. So I'll just do list1 dot sort. And this is going to sort it in ascending order, so it'll go 4, 5, 8, 9, 11. If you wanted to sort it in reverse order, you can type reverse equals true in here. And then when we run it, you see it'll come in reverse order. So it was 11, 9, 8, 5, 4. This dot count method, it'll tell you the amount of times a certain piece of data appears in the list. So I could do dot count 11, and it'll give me 1. If I add 11, 11, 11, it's gonna give me 4. And then this dot index method, it gives you the first index of a certain data point that you pass into it. So if I did 11 again, it'll give me 2. If I did 5, it'll give me 3. And if I did something that isn't in the list, like 17, it'll give me an error because 17 isn't in this list. So that was kind of a brief little explanation of lists. They get super important and really useful once you get into loops, which we'll be learning very soon.